Alright guys, I'm back with another tattoo machine review. Today we got the Rattlesnake Rotary pen tattoo machine, and it's a cartridge tattoo machine, so let's get that out. Let y'all check it out. So this one came with some cartridges. It's like a 9 mag, 5 round liner, 7 mag, 9 mag, 7 rounds, some 9 round liners. So try to give you a little variety. That's cool. Let's get into the box. This is kind of fancy. I got the logo on here, little carrying case, the zipper. So we open it up. Got the cord. Looks like RCA cord. And then, looks like we got the pen, the tattoo machine in a nice black velvet bag. That's kind of cool. Let's get it out. And there it is. Rattlesnake Rotary pen. So I've seen a lot of these, the Rattlesnake tattoo machines. I've seen some of the Rotaries and stuff like that. I've even seen one they have that's wireless, so that's pretty cool. Might have to review one of those. But this one, of course, takes a cord, RCA cord, has the removable grip, clicks. Let's see, has the one O-ring in there. So as you know, I like to get the specs out the way first before I talk about the machine. So let's get into that. So for this Rattlesnake Rotary pen, the body is made of a spaced aluminum frame. It's rated at 8 volts. It's supposed to go 9,000 repetitions per minute. Japanese cordless motor. High speed, high power, low noise, stable work. Stroke length on this one is 0 to 3.5 millimeters. Says you can adjust the protrusion to 0 through 4.5 millimeters. RCA cord, of course. The operating voltage for this machine is, they recommend you run this machine between 5 and 10 volts. So as I've seen with some tattoo machine makers and distributors, they'll give that recommendation not to run it past 8 or 10 volts. The reason for that is if you run these machines too high, you can burn out the motor. Some motors you can run at higher voltages and not have any problems. But this one, they say do not run it past 10 volts. And say you'll overheat the motor and then you'll have mechanical issues with the pen. So usually I try to listen to the manufacturers and the directions or instructions for each machine. Sometimes I like to test the limits on the machine. Don't do what I do. But sometimes I like to, I might run that machine. It might be recommended at 8. I might run it at 9 or 10 volts. And a lot of times they'll work just fine. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they have that recommended voltage on there for a specific reason. You run it past 10 volts and then that machine dies on you, then they're like, well, you shouldn't have ran it past the recommended voltage. So don't listen to me on that, but it's just a little food for thought. Some machines line better, in my opinion, at a higher voltage, around 10 volts. So 10 volts might be just fine for this machine. And then, of course, it takes cartridge needles right in there. We'll get to that in just a second. The advertised weight for this machine is 11.75 ounces, which is light. But let's go ahead and weigh it. I like to weigh these. Oftentimes I find that they'll advertise it with the wrong weight. So I'm gonna go ahead and weigh it. That way we all know exactly how much this pen actually weighs. We're gonna go ahead and set it to ounces. There we go. So that's 4.83 ounces. Very, very light machine. Very light. I mean, these pen machines blow me away, especially the rotary pens like this. They blow me away, the weight of the machine. 4.83 ounces for a tattoo machine is insane. It's just very light. You're talking like, half the weight already of a coil machine, and then it's light for a pen machine itself. So I'll pull out another machine or two, that way you can kind of get an idea for how much these type of pens normally weigh. So this one is a solo pen without the grip, 4.37. So it's along the lines of that type of weight. And we got this one, it's Atom, Dragonhawk Atom, 4.06. So even with the grip, this Atom is more like a little bit lighter than the Rattlesnake, but this is already a lightweight machine as it is. So it's really good. It's always good working with a light, strong machine. So I know you're waiting for it. Let's go ahead and get it plugged in, see what it sounds like. Since it's recommended for 5 to 10 volts, we're gonna go ahead and start it at 5 volts. Let's get this cord out. I'm gonna use the same cord that came with it. I have a lot of these because each machine that I order comes with an RCA cord. So a lot of times I'll use that same cord because it's quicker to set up my machine or whatever. So I'll use the same one. If I'm constantly trying to switch my cord, it's gonna increase the time that it takes me to set up for each tattoo. When I already like to have fresh plastic on each cord, if I'm gonna do a tattoo, I always make sure to have fresh plastic. So something to think about. I didn't bother wrapping these because we're just doing a review. There you go, 5 volts. Very quiet. Let's go ahead and get a cartridge in there. This one's a coil cartridge. It's just one I have laying around. Let's pop it in there. Don't roll away on me. All right. Yeah, they say this machine takes any cartridge, so put any cartridge I have laying around. Instead of just putting the ones they came with, I'm pretty sure those work in this machine. Be crazy to send out a machine with cartridges that aren't compatible with the machine. So yeah, there we go. Very quiet machine. Seems to be very stable. Let's turn it up a little bit. So that's at 6 volts. 7, 8 volts. 9. 10 volts. One thing I noticed with the pen machines is if I'm holding the machine and I hit the power, if the machine moves, it lets me know it's getting a good amount of power. Sometimes for me, it can be an indicator of if I'm gonna be able to outline with that machine. Most of the rotary pens that I've used are great for shading, but not all seem to be good for lining. So that's a good indication. Yeah, feels strong. The motor feels strong. The machine feels pretty good. It has a bit of a smaller grip. It's kind of tapered down, which is kind of different, but I don't think it's gonna be a deal breaker for me, because every time I tattoo, this is wrapped with a paper towel and tape, or at least a little sleeve that goes on a little foam grip. So it's not really a big deal to me. But it's very comfortable, seems lightweight. Well, it is actually lightweight. Seems to be good in the hand. But I haven't tattooed with it yet. If you guys been following me, you know, I get these machines, do the initial review, and then I'll do a tattoo with the machine. And I'll let you know kind of how I feel about the machine after that. Sometimes I'm able to do more reviews where I can give you, okay, how this machine lasted 6 months or a year from now, so that you can kind of make a better informed decision. If you haven't purchased this machine, it kind of helps. If you have this machine and you have experience with it, you've been tattooing with it, feel free to leave that in the comments below. But yeah, so far so good. I'm really digging the little case. I love stuff like this. I don't know how you guys are, but I'm always keeping boxes like a hoarder. It's just something about the packaging, you know. The packaging of things tell you sometimes a lot about what you're buying. This says that they're professional, that, you know, they're giving you something that wants to protect your purchase. So that's always a plus for me. Little velvet bag is cool too. So yeah, if you guys haven't already subscribed to my channel, be sure to do so, especially if you're trying to check into tattooing or tattoo machines. I'm always providing information on tattoo equipment because I'm very passionate about machines, as it's been something that's helped me to progress as far as I have in the industry, is being on top of and learning about advancements and new types of machines coming out. So yeah, hit that like button. And as always, thanks for watching.